Hi everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Wednesday, March 8th, and just going to go over the crazy week that we've had so far. You can see here Dow again putting in 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 point day. NASDAQ up 3 and almost 4%. Same with the S&P, over 4%. So yeah, just some really crazy moves, obviously, and we'll just I don't know if it's even worth looking at the groups. Let's look at some of the indexes here, just see where we are. So you can see the big sell-off, obviously, and we do seem to be putting in a bottom here. It's not a super clean bottom. I would say that's a bit of a cleaner bottom here. You get a nice pull. You get a nice candle here. Get a pop up, then you get a pullback, and tests the previous day previous closes, and then goes back up here. It's just getting a little bit more messy. We had a pop up, we had a drop, we had a pop up again. We may have another down day tomorrow based on what's happening here, but at least our side's firming up a bit. And yeah, so I think we're bottoms kind of been put in, and we may just do some time chopping along at this level, but who knows, we may end up with a V reversal. And here you can see the 10-year, the yields have just dropped through the floor. As far as the banks go, I don't have any idea how they're going to make money. Usually they make money lending at a higher rate than they pay for people that are depositors. But with the rates and the spreads the way they are, it's really historic in terms of where the 10-year is. Obviously never been here before. So weekly again, just down, 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 and we're back over sold here. So hard to say if we're actually going to bounce or just chop. But anyway, here comes the Dow. Here comes the Dow. Like I said, it's up one day, down the next, and then the big rally here Wednesday. And futures are indicating a lower open tomorrow, but we'll have to see what brings overnight here. You can see volume still pretty good today. So yeah, interesting. Hard to say where we're going to go from here, but it looks like we may get a pullback tomorrow. Small caps again, same story, finishing on a higher than this level here, but typically you like to see a little bit of a check back like we saw here. Talked about that already. We may still get that. These V reversals are definitely a little harder to trade. Here's the Qs. Again, same story. Up, down, and then up again. I suspect we're going to be trading in a bit of a narrower range. You can see here the range on Monday was pretty big. Range on Tuesday was pretty big. Range on Wednesday was a little less. So I suspect that's kind of the trend we're going to have. We're going to have a little bit less volatility in terms of trading ranges tomorrow. SPY again closing this gap here from when we closed down. Could be some resistance right here. This 3150 level. This was support that some people were talking about here from where we broke out. So, and the dollar's just been getting creamed ever since, and especially since that 50-point rate cut. Really took doubt. The dollar took it on the chin there, but looks like it's finding some support back in this area of consolidation here. And the VIX coming off a little bit from this real spike higher here, which isn't surprising. So let's take a look at the actives. Still do have a few stocks. I was looking at Disney. I sent out an email for those of you who are on the email list. You can see here, I kind of thought Disney put in a bit of a bottom here. I think it's if you're going to stick something away for a while, Disney's probably a good one to pick up and stick in your portfolio. Maybe a very long-term portfolio. Looks like it's going to hold this 115 level. So something maybe tuck away. Again, they've got the streaming business, which they've got the parks, obviously, which are a little bit exposed to the virus, but the risk of the virus and impact on their bottom line. But they've also got the streaming business too, which the stay-at-home, plays to the stay-at-home, hunker down market. So LK, LK, I'm just keep holding on to this. I mean, it's just not had this sell off here, but really during all this turmoil, really hasn't sold off. That's kind of why I just like that. I've got that one tucked away. And six, again, I kind of felt like this one was really oversold and putting in a bit of a bottom here. So a little bit of a knife catch. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. Was looking at that. You can see here, 15 minute, we kind of put in a bottom yesterday, today, and then came back up here. And so around 23 is where I'll stop out if it doesn't continue higher. But I think we've got some room to the upside on this as the maybe virus fears kind of wane a little bit. Take a look at what we got on watch. Baidu, again, coming back up again. Still think this has some room to run once we get through the virus stuff. It seems like there was some news article today about how there was one company. What's the name of the company? TomTom, and they can monitor congestion, traffic congestion, and they were saying since the virus they've been monitoring it, and dropped off obviously pretty significantly in some of the major cities, but now it's starting to come back again. So maybe it's a sign that China's getting kind of back to normal here. Doesn't mean that there won't be still have that significant economic impact that's delayed factory opens and all the rest of that since the new year, Chinese New Year. So you can see here gold kind of got stalled out. I kind of think if virus stuff, it's going to pull back a bit, but right now it's kind of holding in there. Again, KWEB, a good way to play Chinese internet stocks. Looks like it's maybe put in a mini head and inverted head and shoulders here. Here's the shoulder, here's the head, here's the second right shoulder, and then maybe we're going to break up again. RSI is starting to strengthen. And LK, I should probably take that one out of the watch. Triple M, I was looking at this one. This looks like it's put in a kind of a bottom as well. We've had one, sort of two, three tests of this sort of 146 level. 146 level. Just take a look at it on the 2 hour. Yeah, so it's put in a nice tradable bottom here, 146-ish. It has gone up a lot, 153, tough place to enter. But again, 3M kind of something you could put in your really long-term portfolio, probably be a decent hold. The semiconductors, again, coming back up here, went out on the high. So it could be something worth picking up if it does pull back, say even if we can get even to 135, 135.50, 136 level might be a good buy. I might put that on my alert. Space is kind of losing its luster. It had that big run up. Everybody wanted to be involved in space, and now it's kind of losing momentum, losing volume. I suspect we're probably going to hold this sort of 20 level, but we may pull back to it. Team kind of interesting here. It's really hasn't sold. This is another stock that really hasn't sold off much. Just kind of keeping an eye on this one. I'm not really sure. It looks like it's right back up to resistance. So yeah, I might look at that if I can get a pullback on it to 147, say. TNA, small caps, again, we may get a pullback tomorrow. Might be a good place to take an entry. And TVIX, obviously, trade on the volatility. I think it's looking a little toppy here, so we may, good indication that we might just chop sideways or possibly move higher. And oil, I think oil's going to still head lower. I heard the OPEC meeting didn't go well. I think Russia kind of walked out of the meeting, so I don't think that there's going to be any significant cuts So oil may be turning and heading lower again. And that's about it. So kind of some interesting days. Hard to do swing trading in these really wild markets, but there are opportunities out there. Just got to find them and keep your size small until things settle down a bit and we get back into a trend one way or another. So got to be a little bit more nimble than usual. Here's my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out already. And I guess if you're going to join us in the Bear Bull Trading Room in the morning, pre-market show starts at 8:30, as you know, probably. And we'll be going through pre-market movers, and then we'll get into the trading day at 9:30 Eastern Time. So if you're going to join us, we'll be live on YouTube for that. Anybody can join, and we'll hopefully see you there. Have a great rest of the evening, everyone. Bye for now.